Welcome to the What Are We Thinking podcast, episode 16.
It's
Yes,
somewhere
sir.
in
Yes,
between
Sweet 16.
10:15 and 11:45 on Friday, which means we are officially recording episode number 16.
Ah, so great.
We're in an awkward stage of life on the 16th episode. Just remember
we know more than our parents.
Yeah.
More than everybody. Yeah. You kidding me?
We have it figured out.
Oh, it's so good.
Been driving for 3 months, so I'm pretty much a fully grown adult.
Who's excited to not be in their house today?
Josh is.
You should.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Josh's second day out of quarantine.
Yes.
His mouth and nose is still in quarantine.
Yes.
Because he still can't smell or taste anything.
That's a true statement.
But the rest of his body has been freed from the prison that COVID-19.
My own prison.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that a
So-
Creed reference?
This is actually the
I
first time
Creed.
I've seen
I don't know
Josh's
how to do
face. We just say something about Creed? I missed it.
Yeah, my own prison.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that a Creed song? Okay.
The whole time you were in quarantine, my arms were wide open.
Oh, I can't stand Creed. Sorry, Scott Stapp. You're a jerk.
I don't
Your
think you're
band's
sorry
terrible.
about that
I'm
at all.
not at all. I'm just not a Creed fan.
Hey, Mark Anderson's with us today.
I'm here.
Marky Mark.
I'm
the
here.
man
are y'all?
himself. He pretty much, maybe the most popular guy in all of McKinsey.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
Probably.
Possibly the least liked man in McKinsey. I don't know. Maybe. No.
No,
I don't know. There's probably a
no
couple
way.
guys.
Way more. Come
I have a
on.
brother.
We're way
I
least
have a
liked.
brother.
I was like, Josh Crawford? Are you kidding me? Like, he has this you either adore Josh or
You don't like
you
Josh.
don't. So
I'm like a Teletubby. You either love me or you think I'm the Antichrist.
right, exactly.
VeggieTales. I want to be the VeggieTales of
Much
the
more,
community.
Many more people are on
Oh man.
Josh's team. Don't get me wrong, but
We've already gone off the rails here.
I know absolutely zero. What are we even talking about?
Thanks for
So
having
thank
me
you
back,
for
guys.
being here. Yeah, dude. It's cool to have Mark. It's cool to have Josh back in the building today. Speaking of building, I drove by our old building on the way here. I never take that way to get to the church.
Oh, wow,
Today
yeah.
I
I haven't in a
randomly
long
went
time either.
downtown, and I had to drive by the old building, and a sigh of relief swept over me when I realized I didn't have to walk into that. I know some people have awesome memories there, and I have great memories there as well, but all of my memories in that building were like, how quickly can we get out of this building and get into
Right.
what the nicer one that we have? And so I drove by it today, and it was like this overwhelming gratefulness of God, thank you that we're not up in that upstairs office space. Like I was just so grateful.
The smell.
The smell.
Old.
Distinct.
Yeah.
Very distinct
Even-
smell.
I was just there's no construction work happening beside us. Like there's no train. The amount of times a train went by
Yes.
every day
We're
was
Depot
like,
Town.
so I'm so happy to have driven the 2 extra miles, maybe 1 extra mile, I don't even know, and just be in this place.
Yeah,
oh my
I agree.
gosh,
I agree.
so thankful.
Yeah.
So, well, Mark, tell me about your world right now.
Well, it's been extremely busy. My daughter just started kindergarten.
Oh.
Went for
Same.
Was
Yeah.
that sad?
not really. She was really excited about it. I think if she didn't want to go, I think I would have been more concerned. I would have been like, oh man, this is going to be terrible. But since they did it this way this year because of COVID-19, they didn't allow the parents to go down the hall.
Oh,
They stopped you at the front door, so your child had to
Sad
be escorted
day.
down
Yeah.
by a teacher or by a member of the staff, and they escorted them down. And the tears more came the night before.
Right.
My wife read a story. I'll be very brief with this. I was in the kitchen. I was washing dishes, and we were finishing up, and we were putting our daughter to bed. And my wife gave her daughter a bath, and they were finishing up. She was getting her pajamas on, and then all of a sudden, she comes around the corner and says, "I need you to come in in her bedroom." And I was like, "Okay, why?" She was like, "I may need help with this." I was like, "Help with what?" She was like, "I've got to read a book." I was like, "Okay." The name of the book was The Night Before Kindergarten. And it's a riff off of The Night Before Christmas. Well, My wife made it 2 pages deep
Started crying.
and was down. I mean, she went and down in a heap. So my daughter just sitting there laughing about the whole thing, and I finished the other 15 pages. I don't even like reading that much. And yes, so we finished that up. She got her tears out the night before. We had already done pre-K, so I mean, she had kind of been in the school already a little bit, and my mom, knowing my mom was there as well. She's a speech pathologist for the school system, so she was there.
Yeah,
and she sent us a couple pictures, and it was cool. But I was in a good place with it. I mean, it wasn't hard. I know Josh had a different scenario with his, and that's
Mine hasn't been to school yet.
Mine only went for 2 days.
Mine's in quarantine.
I literally texted him Thursday afternoon and said, he didn't miss but 2 days. So
that's awesome.
So worked out.
Yeah. Well, Josh, how's your world right now?
Well, I'm out of quarantine.
It's a good week.
My wife's out of quarantine. My kids are not. The new rule is...
So it's like you're still in quarantine.
Yeah, similar. So 14 days after you get better, your kids will have to stay in quarantine. And that schools are even keeping up with that. So if the school knows you've been sick, they're like, because they talked to Alicia yesterday about Zion, he cannot go to school until September the 3rd.
Oh, my goodness.
So he's out like 24, almost a month.
Yeah, the whole month. Now, and I've heard like the kids may go to school again this coming week.
Yeah.
But he's not.
So, no green light on that yet, by the way.
Right.
So
everybody's playing this by ear. I know we're just trying different things. That's fine. It does suck though that he's yet to go to school.
Right.
And Ava's the same way. She's supposed to stay out as well. So that's just kind of where we are. So I'm not really sharing a lot about.
You're not sharing.
Like on social media
on a podcast,
because you're not sharing. I'm not really sharing.
Thank God I didn't share his coronavirus with
yeah, I didn't share it to my kids. My wife shared it with me.
She's a sharer.
She's so sweet.
She's a little stingy.
She's a real. She's a real giver.
Honestly, very thoughtful.
So, shout out to Alicia. So, I am not though. And I didn't share it with my kids, but I don't know. I'm not going to share a lot of information about that. We've already had phone calls, like from random people, family members, like, how are y'all feeling? People being kind of nosy, like, and I'm like, yeah.
They don't care about you.
No, they don't. They don't. They just want to know.
They're like, hey, praying for you. So.
How specifically can I pray for the symptoms that you're having right now?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. When was the last time you felt those symptoms? What type of medications are you on?
How long should I continue to pray for you about
and stay away from you all at the same time? How can I pray socially distant from you?
Just know I'm thinking about you.
I actually checked myself today. Yesterday I ran 4 miles. I think I pushed it a little hard because today I didn't run that far.
Yes, day one you don't do that.
So
he work out. Let's throw that one in.
I've never ran 4 miles in one day ever.
He worked out before that.
So I got home. My wife's like, "You're an idiot," and she was really mad. So I was like, "You're right. I'm probably not the smartest thing in the world to do." So today, I ran 3.4.
Ridiculous.
So I cut it down like 0.6 of a mile.
Yeah,
so I just thought I would just cut it down a little, and then. But I felt tired today, like in my chest. It's been a little tight, so I wasn't even going to run. I was like, I'm not going to run today. I kept trying to talk myself out of it.
And you did it anyway.
I did it anyway.
Why?
I don't know.
Is it like a little devil angel on your shoulder saying, if you don't do this, you're going to get fat? Well, is that happening to you?
It's lazy bum.
Yeah, it's like, won't you run?
It's shame.
Sissy.
It's shame. That's what it is. Yeah. Shame is driving your run. That's unhealthy. Shame running.
You shameful.
You eat a donut and you're just running while you're
At first
eating.
I thought you said it was Shane. It's like Shane. It's Shane.
It's Shane.
Shane.
My stepdad.
Shane is texting you.
That's not my
You better
name.
Where'd you run, coward?
He said Shane.
You have no faith in God.
Shane.
No, every time I think about Shane and you, I think about how anytime I post a picture with you, Shane makes sure to leave a comment on there saying,
I don't know why
Alex,
Shane
you're
does
so
that.
skinny. Josh is so much bigger and
I don't know why
stronger
he
than
does
you.
that.
Step your game up. And I'm always like, look, I'm trying. Okay, like
Yeah.
Josh has had a few more years.
I
in
s-
this thing.
yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
And by a few more years,
Right, I'm 40.
but pretty much an eternity.
Oh, man.
you know,
40.
I cannot hear I'm 40 and not think
Right.
of I'm a man. I'm 40. You come after me. I'm 40.
you know, what he's referring to the coach.
Gundy.
Okay,
Yeah.
Gundy.
Oh, Gundy.
Tennessee's next head coach.
I'm a man. I got a mullet.
Tennessee football's next. Head
Yeah,
coach.
he was like, almost hired 4 times. He got 4 different raises from us.
Yep. Yep.
Oh,
You're
it's
welcome.
so funny. Are y'all ready for some headlines?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Oh,
go.
man.
Pumped.
I'm excited about these.
Ugh.
First one's going to be funny. Let's go with it.
Just kidding.
I'm telling you ahead of time.
Yep.
So, this is a survey. They interviewed a lady. Her name is, this is in Cosmopolitan, by the way. But it was
It's already reputable. It's already reputable.
Annie-
He saw it in the
Annie
grocery
Renault-
store on his way out.
checkout line.
I picked it
I
up.
bought,
for
I bought a package of Starburst at Cosmo.
I didn't go in for anything else.
Diet Mountain Dew
And
as
I
well.
got a little toy that sticks to the wall when you
Right.
throw it.
Alicia has a subscription.
Yeah.
She doesn't tell anybody.
So, this is on top 5 headlines this morning, trending
go.
headlines. Annie Reynoso. So, she is a lady who actually had breast implants. Now, this is the tricky part.
What a way to start this out.
Breast implants. We're
That's
talking
her
about that
only
today.
description.
That's how she is described. and
That's
how
who-
she's
that's
got
her
it.
Well, this is what
identity.
this whole article is about. Breast implants making ladies sick. So, they're
Oh.
getting breast implants that cost like $4,500 to get those done.
Yeah.
Cost $8,000 to get them taken out. So it's almost double of what it costs to get them put in, and doctors won't, insurance companies won't do it if you're sick because of breast implants. So if you get them and you get sick, insurance companies are not covering this.
Wow.
So
because it wasn't a necessary
Right.
treatment. That makes
right,
sense.
she actually wanted to get a tummy tuck.
You vibe
She-
with that?
That's
Yeah.
a
You
rational
shelter
thought.
insurance.
That's a
right?
rational thought.
Okay, I figured.
I don't do that line.
How
of
can I get out of
research.
that?
Figured our insurance guy here would be like, yeah, I see that.
No, I'm not in on
So
that game.
she initially went to the doctor to get a tummy tuck,
Okay.
and he's like, "You can't do that because
She went a
there's
little
something-
north.
She wanted something. There was something wrong with her body. Uterine fibroids. Maybe that's how you say that. I have no idea.
Uh-huh.
She wasn't a good candidate for that kind of surgery, so he had another idea. He said, "Why don't you just get breast implants?" So
Huh.
I guess
You like make your shirt stick out further so you
Yeah.
don't see
So you don't see your
your
belly.
belly fat?
yeah, I guess so. That's so funny.
All right.
So it was a birthday present. So she did it. She paid
Uh-huh.
for it. Now she's having all these different side effects. Like they actually, I'm going to say this got twice as big as they were supposed to. And then
Oh my.
started having all these health issues. And so she
You
went
got
to
a
the
little
doctor.
carried
And the
away.
doctor said it was just in her head. And he said, there's nothing wrong with you. So
They didn't take any measurements?
but then she found a doctor that actually believed her. And it's like, yes, this is what causes this when you get breast implants. You have all these toxins that can build up in your body
Oh
and
my
cause
gosh.
all kinds of other issues. So all these other people, like they get all these biopsies, everything, because sometimes they have masses and all these other things.
Yes.
Mhm.
Besides those,
Right.
wow.
I was trying to be like super like yes.
Whoever's watching the video got a really genuine reaction from me. Just this turn of like, I can't believe you just said that.
So anyway, should insurance companies cover that?
It's an elective surgery.
Yeah, not a chance.
Well, the original surgery is a cosmetic or elective surgery that's a body.
And she got them done in the Dominican Republic.
What
What are you expecting?
You can't get them done at a Sandals and expect them to be awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, they do jet skis and they do all you can eat
At that
buffets,
point,
but they don't do breast implants.
That's where I draw the line.
Yep.
You ever been to Jamaica?
Surgery.
I mean, they offer.
Her parents live there, so
Oh.
that was the reason why she got it done.
Okay. Okay.
Still-
She
I
needed,
still
she
don't
needed somebody
understand.
to
I don't get it
actually
either.
take care of her.
Why it took her parents. She didn't have one friend that could have taken her and her from the
I don't
hospital
know, man. So,
in the States.
but they said in 2019,
Oh,
300,000 women got breast implant augmentations. That's up 41%. And then it says, of course, like a third of that is like people, women that had like mastectomies done and reconstruction and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
So okay. So here,
Yeah.
that is where I wonder if it wouldn't be like appropriate for insurance to come through?
I feel like if it's like a double mastectomy and you're taking an aggressive route against like breast
Cancer.
cancer or something like that,
seems really appropriate.
That's more of a medical need and almost a mental health
right.
thing
That's what I was
as well.
about to say.
So I agree with that.
34,000 women had them removed.
So that's 10%.
10%.
Holy cow, man! That's yeah.
And that means
it costs $7,000 to $10,000.
11, 12, 13. How much? What would you say?
It's 7 to 10 per procedure.
Oh my! So I mean, that's like an average of almost $13,000 for the whole thing, getting put in and removed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's anywhere from $12,000 to $15,000 for nothing,
Mm-hmm.
except for a bunch of pain and surgery.
All right.
Whoa!
So,
Talk about an inappropriate way to spend your life savings.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so either. I get people suffer with confidence, insecurity, and all that other stuff. But like, I love my wife, like how she is. I don't want anything extra. I don't want like anything fake.
Right.
But I feel like social media, that's kind of the world we live in. Like,
it's all
comparison
fake.
game. And
That's fake.
Yeah.
I have to remind myself that people put on social media, whether it's their marriage or their personal life or their career or any of that. Some of that is put on. Some of that is for the gram. It's
especially influencers. I mean, like that's what they do.
They literally travel places that
you
they
don't
wouldn't normally
show
travel just to post pictures.
the warts and blemishes of a marriage, and you don't see that a lot. You do. I mean, you catch it.
You have friends that do that, and you don't like those people.
Yeah. Right. They're like cussing at their spouse via Facebook. Yeah. They're like tagging them. And I'm like, why can't you just go in the other room and do that? I don't. So
I have one friend in particular I'm thinking of right now that like
I'm right here, man.
that posts stuff like that all the time.
Yeah.
It's like I'm having a bad day. Like nobody cares about me. F all y'all. And I'm like, man, dude, that's aggressive.
Right. I think we all have one of those. We all have that friend. It's like, well,
I mean, I've had them, but I don't follow them.
No,
ever on any social media.
The beauty
platform.
of social media is that, especially on the Facebook, I almost put the in front of that.
Oh my god,
the Facebooks,
the book
of face. It is. I don't want to tell a secret here but there's an unfollow button. You don't have to unfriend them, but you can unfollow.
I unfollow people every day,
and it's refreshing sometimes to be like, pull up your main feed and that negativity and that the verbal vomit.
The picture of Obi-Wan.
The picture of Obi-Wan Kenobi that everyone shares around. There's
not
Jesus.
Lots of people get the unfollow. I mean, lots of people that share an unnecessarily large amount of things.
Yes.
That don't.
Yeah.
They get the unfollow because I don't want to see 15 shares. I'm like, come on. So
there's some people I wish would share more because I can't like get enough of it because it's either it's got to be humorous or enlightening, and that I want more of it. But then there's some I'm like, oof, they need to stay.
We got some Tiger Kings.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I got some Tiger Kings in my friend. They're just train wrecks.
Bro, we got some Tiger Kings at our church.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? And sometimes, it takes a lot actually for me to unfollow people from our church. I give people from our church way more grace than anybody else because I like commenting and interacting with our church on social media. I love doing that because I don't get to hang out with everyone from our church every day. So if I can be intentional with that, then you've got a little bit more of a relationship. But boy, I mean, I've definitely unfollowed some people from our church. Don't get me wrong, I definitely have. But it takes a lot for someone to get that unfollow.
So,
on Facebook.
Y'all's goal now is to figure out what that a lot is.
Yeah,
and have you hit it? We know we're not everybody's cup of tea, though. Too like
that's
we
true.
Get
I'm
that.
sure people from our church don't follow. Maybe
me?
not even aren't friends with me on Facebook at some. And honestly, if it comes to that, they probably don't go to our church anymore.
Probably.
It'd be really hard to not even be able to stand me on social media and then sit there every Sunday for, 50 minutes and listen to me preach a sermon.
Exactly.
So I can't imagine.
Still waiting on him to accept my friend request.
Is that true?
No.
Oh, I was like, are you serious?
You thought about it. You must have unfollowed me.
No, I see your stuff.
I don't know any of it or recall it.
Have you posted in a while? Yeah, I just posted 12 things today.
I for sure see it if it's on the stories, though. Those are really like...
Posted 12 Save the Children messages today.
If you want to make sure...
Save the kids. Save the kids. Save our children.
If you want to make sure someone sees your stuff, post it on the story.
All right, here's another one. Now, speaking of influencers, this really caught me off guard because this is something we see in Christian culture all the time. So there is a YouTube couple. That's what they're called because they're very popular on
Sure.
YouTube. They have a bunch of followers, Mika and James Stauffer. They brought a toddler home from China.
I've heard of. I've vaguely heard about this.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Heard about it a
this is a
little bit
very
ago.
creative picture. Yeah.
Oh,
so
my.
if that tells you anything, so they adopted a kid from China because that's what white Christians do.
Right.
We adopt kids from other countries,
Right.
or go to Haiti and say, "Hey, I'm holding a black baby. Check
Yeah.
me out. I'm a white girl. So
Somebody
cool."
take a picture of brother.
We're all guilty of that if you've ever been on a mission trip.
Yeah. I get
So anyway, they adopted this child from China, and it ended up being autistic. Now, these people have like 1 million subscribers. She has her own YouTube. She kind of started out as a single mom, had her own YouTube thing going. She married this guy, quit her job, and they have this family. So that's kind of where they got started. And then, like it even talks about it. It says they shared everything about the process, adopting the child, and then they made a video. And they're all, of course, they're all dressed right. All their clothes match
Yeah.
the linens on the in their room. And they're like, "This is a hard video for us to have to make." And then they talk about we found our child who was named Huxley. He's 5 years old. They had him like 2 or 3 years.
Uh-huh.
She said, well, he's now new forever family. So they gave the kid up,
Right.
which there is a percentage. It says anywhere from 1% to 5% of the more than 100,000 adoptions in the United States each year are legally terminated. So 1 to 5% are legally terminated.
Terminated.
The Terminator.
Termilator.
The Terminator.
A plethora of these adoptions.
Termilator.
The Terminator. Okay, let's get back on. Let's get back on
Oh, that's so
on
great.
schedule here.
I love it. I love when I talk fast. 'Cause it always comes out. But it's called a dissolution. I said that word right. So,
That is how that's spelled.
which kind of amazed me that 1 to 5% is actually terminated.
Yeah, that's actually a staggering number for that. For that many.
But they caught a lot
Adoptions.
of flack because they're in the public, because they're on YouTube, because all their subscribers and like people
Yeah,
went
because
from like
they use
they
this,
got investigated.
They use this bunch of clickbait. We're
Right.
we're adopting a kid, and then all of a sudden,
Look at us and like, well, he was autistic,
so bye.
and they said that his symptoms were worse than what they were told.
Sure.
So now let's take that a whole nother level. I like to look at things from like even a more realistic side. Like, so as parents, if we have a kid and it's too much to handle, we go, well, we didn't really know he was going to be this way, so we're just going to find him a new home. It's like an animal. Like when I hear things like that when
That's
people are
really
like,
intense.
Yeah.
It's really
because
intense.
you hear people that they find a puppy and they go, we're trying to find him his forever home.
Right.
Well, you've already given him that for like
Right.
3 years.
Right.
And it was cool.
He was there for 3
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, like they got him when he was like 2.
They gave him up when he was 5.
So they took
Shut
him out
up.
of a foreign country,
Yes.
brought him here,
Yes.
uprooted him from there, which is already a hard enough process, and I'm sure that was a hard process for them as
I
well.
thought it
wasn't
was like
just
they
something
got him
easy.
and was like, I'm going to return real quick, like 30-day warranty.
No,
They had him for 3 years.
3 years,
Yeah.
and
Pretty
then
sure.
and then
Oh,
they.
my.
I'm sure there had to be some sort of consideration of that, but because I don't want to just try to pile drive somebody,
Right,
on
and
this.
I'm definitely not expecting.
I didn't
or-
I didn't live it. I'm not
Right,
there,
right.
but just outsider looking in, that is just
Bro,
that's crazy.
if you decide to make that kind of move, like that's one of those things that you stick with forever.
yeah, that's a
Like,
commitment
it's a commitment.
It is.
to
It's like
to
marriage.
the child,
It's another
to
person.
and it's a special kind of love to be able to take a child that you did not birth, you did not conceive, and treat them as your own, and love them and unconditionally. I respect anybody that has gone through the adoption process, because that is they make adoption harder than a lot of other things, but they make it extremely tough to do that, and it's extremely expensive, and it's tolling on you financially, emotionally, mentally. that's a process. I respect anybody that's going through it.
Right. Absolutely. And Sam and I, we want to adopt one day. That's actually, if we talk openly about that, I think we will.
Yeah.
But like, I have family members, an aunt and uncle who adopted, and the child they adopted is slightly autistic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, he's got some learning disabilities to an extent. And gosh, Tim, think about them. I'm sure it's tough. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I could get it. I don't get it because I've never been there. But I could see where that would be very challenging and tough. But man, to have
2017 is when they got him.
To have a child for 3 years and then to say, that just seems tough. And even, this isn't normally like a biblical conversation podcast that we do, but like one of the beautiful things about the gospel, the New Testament, is that God describes his relationship with humanity, with us as adopted children. Like it's all three. We're married, we're, to Christ, we are reborn, but then we're also the third one of how you become in someone's family is through adoption. And he says he adopts us. And one of the big reasons that he uses adoption is because in that day and age, it was illegal for someone to adopt and then give back.
Yeah.
Meaning when God says he adopts us for good.
Yes.
Like, you can divorce someone you're married to, but you can't, it is illegal for someone in that day and age to adopt and then say, we don't want them, take them back.
Yeah.
They couldn't do that. So even, I don't know. That's just, it's intense. So.
Yeah, that is. Whew.
You got another headline?
That's a heavy subject.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I get it's hard. I don't know how you look at a kid and go, sorry. We enjoyed you, but you're just too much.
Yeah.
And we just can't do it.
I know. I don't.
Because you're going to have that with all kids.
Right.
I had that with my kids.
Right.
Like my older kids, where you have to look at them and they're making decisions and you're like, I don't support that. I love you, but I don't support it, but I'm here.
Right.
Love takes a lot of different forms.
Yeah. So my third headline is this. I want to know what your take is on militias, because that is a growing trend. One is in Michigan. This one is actually in Michigan. Now, in Michigan, when the coronavirus first started, they shut down Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan.
Termilated. Let's go back to that. Termilated. They're trying to terminate the government.
Kind of sounded a little bit still like a little Cobra Ash.
I'll deal with cycles. I'll put them away. So, and these guys are against masks. Like, they're against, of course, they said, now you guys, we can sympathize here because we see and hear this a lot about masks. Masks are not about helping people. They're about control.
Right.
Like, I hear that all the time from lots of, people that really feel that way. Whatever. But in Michigan, there was a barber shop. The guy's name is Carl Mankey. He was told he had to close his barber shop when they were shutting all the barbershops down. He refused. So then the government came in and said, I think the sheriff's department brought him a cease and desist order, all those things. And there's people outside his shop with the "Don't Tread on Me" flags, all of that. But there's a group. What are they actually called? They're called the Michigan something militia, and they are Home Guard is what they're called. The Michigan Home Guard. They have 1,000 members.
They say you don't have to buy the full security system. You just put that sign in your front yard and it deters people away.
So they are an armed militia, and they actually went and guarded his barber shop so people could not shut him down.
Wow.
And they had weapons. I mean, they were all there. Where are we at with that? Where are you at with that? An armed militia protecting a barber shop.
Mark,
can I have it? I've got it. I mean, mine's not. Mine shouldn't be that controversial. I have a firm belief in that. I want to do whatever I can to prevent other people from getting sick or myself from getting sick, because I want to have a business to run, and two, I don't want to take that home to my family, but I also want to protect my clients that are coming in. And a salon and a barbershop is kind of one of those things that they really crack down on like very quickly. They're like, oh, this is it. But on my take is I own my building. I own the property that it's on, and that I make the determination of if anybody comes in, if they're required to wear a mask.
Right.
And then once they leave the doors of my location or leave the parking lot, that's their business and the government's business, not mine. So I'd soon for the government just to stay out of my business, but I don't necessarily think I would need a militia to protect my business in that case.
Right.
That's just not a
Yeah, there was a
battle
lot of tension because I think the governor's Democratic in Michigan, and there was a lot of protest. And
a lot of
there
upset
was,
Michiganders.
Yes, and then
Interesting.
of course at that time Michigan was a super hot spot. Detroit especially. This was right outside Detroit.
Yeah.
But I'm just I don't know. I don't feel like we need that anymore. I don't feel like we need militias of people. Like, I don't trust anybody with a gun. Like, I don't.
Right.
Like, if I see somebody walking in public with, like, an AR-15, I'm a little panicked.
Absolutely.
Well, I guess you have that right. I'm more of the if you're gonna carry, be it concealed. I'm not an open carry fan. I don't want to see somebody's. Why do you need an AR-15 to walk down the sidewalk? Like it automatically looks like you're about to do something radical, whether it be radical one way or the other.
Yeah, many people will die.
Right.
Yeah. Like,
you're not going squirrel hunting.
Yeah. I mean, I have one. I have one, and I don't care to carry it down the sidewalk. I don't even care to carry it down my driveway.
Right.
Like, and I live out in the country. Like I don't feel it's necessary, but I don't live in these hotbeds of a ton of turmoil, and people are already predisposed to that conflict. I don't have that, so I can't 100% say that that's good.
So my take, having a wife that's a cosmetologist, so she got her business was shut down, and stuff like that. From the get-go, I didn't understand why barbers and cosmetologists would even need to be shut down, because if wearing a mask does keep us safe, then why can't you just wear a mask and go get your hair cut?
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason to shut every business down
I agree.
if the masks are going to work. So it would make more sense to say, keep your business running, just wear a mask.
Yep.
Keep the world running, keep the whole country moving, and don't destroy the economy, and wear a mask. Awesome. I also fall into the category of I'm a much more like, well, you do stupid things, you get stupid
Prizes.
you get stupid prizes kind of guy, in the sense of if a person wants to take the risk of potentially getting I'm not pinning that on the barber. I'm not pinning that on the guy who comes in. It's both of their decisions.
Yeah.
I mean, if someone is worried and doesn't want to get COVID-19, they're not going to go to the barbershop where no one wears a mask and all this other stuff. If a barber's worried about it, he's not going to be. But if the people aren't worried about it, then I'm the guy that's like, to each their own. I mean, even like in our church, it's kind of the stance that we have in the terms of like half of our sanctuary now, half of it is social distance section, half of it is not. And it's like, dude, if you want to come and social distance, then according to everything we've been told, mask will keep you safe. Like mask, hand sanitizing, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So if you do that and you would like to social distance, you can do that at our church. But if you don't, if that's not something that's a high priority to you, then you also don't have to do that.
Yeah.
So it's so interesting that they closed down barbershops and salons and stuff like that in the beginning, because I'm like, I just don't think those are probably the hotbeds of where COVID was coming from.
Yeah.
No.
Anyways, I'm thinking things like clubs and bars and grocery stores with large amounts of people, not like 3 or 4 people at a time.
This is going to kill Club La Vila.
I really do. What?
It's going to kill Club La Vila. They'll
Club
never
La
open
Vila's been
back
shut
up.
down for like 3 years.
They'll never open back up.
They definitely aren't open now.
They were trying to relaunch,
But
rebrand.
It
looks bad over there.
We went to Panama City.
We did too. It looks bad
It
over
looks
there.
horrible right now. But I also don't love. I don't like the concept of the government being able to come in and just tell you just cannot do this. Like, even though this is what you pay for this, you own this. Goodbye. You can't do it. That seems a bit infringing on our rights. No doubt, as American citizens. And it's like as you know, with church, at least we had options. You know, it was like we can go online. We could have done something in the parking lot. People stayed in their car. But Lord, I mean, if you're gonna cut hair, it's either do it in your shop or do it underground at your house.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
They would pull your license.
Right, you get your license pulled. That's like Sam.
I saw a
Sam
guy.
had to, she couldn't do that because she would get her license pulled.
Yeah,
if
that's
that
crazy.
Was
I was driving through town in McKenzie one day on the golf cart, like on one of the side streets back there behind Verizon, like over there where Bertha is.
Yeah,
all those little streets where Dustin Doyle lives. We were going through there, and there was a guy out behind his business getting his hair cut behind the parking lot, like back there, we're like hidden behind the building. He looked at me and he was like, I was like, I'm not gonna tell. Like, he's getting his hair cut. Like, I'm not.
People will. I mean, the like salon owners and barbers, like they will send.
And my brother was a barber, like and so like he didn't get to open. And my brother's very like smart financially. Right. Like he had money. He had 6 months of income.
For someone living day to day,
yes,
I can't imagine the kind of stress that would put on
absolutely.
You. Like,
well, most people don't like the government to tell them anything.
Right.
Like, don't tell me how to live my life. Well, whenever the government comes in and puts these mandates in place of you must wear a mask here and these places must be closed and we're not open, it's so foreign to be told that you can't open.
Right. And you just can't.
You've never closed. Like, the only day that you close is for holidays and the days that you lock the door.
You want to. And some people don't even.
But I also get even the aspect of like trying to keep people safe.
Yeah.
And not knowing what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like not a ton of nobody knows what to do. Right. So they're like, just stay home.
Well,
and it's
in
like,
my mind, I'm thinking, wouldn't it be easier to just write mask tickets? I don't know. Literally, seatbelt tickets. If a cop sees you not wearing a seatbelt,
there is. I've heard this. I don't know 100%
Nashville
validity to it. Mm-hmm. I've heard that in Dyersburg, it is if they catch you without a mask at one point during this process, it was 11 to 29 in jail.
Wow.
Which most times get reduced to 11/29 probation.
Yeah.
Right.
And then there was at one point there was a fine in some of the places where there was a fine of $2,500 if you were not found with not wearing a mask. I'm like, a seatbelt ticket's $25.
Right.
Maybe 30. I don't know, inflation. But it $2,500.
It's insane. It's insane. But isn't that better than shut your business down, don't make any money, starve to death? Isn't, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I do think it would keep people that are going to be safe. People that are not going to follow the rules, they'll catch on at some point. Like, I'm tired of paying this ticket.
When they're in jail? Or,
right.
Like,
I know there's extremes. Like,
I know.
There's extremes. I think you can do something pretty simple starting out, to try to help people understand. But, as I think even Governor Lee said, there has to be buy-in.
Right.
Because he was saying, like, if all you mayors, like, make this a law or these mandates, you don't have any buy-in, it's not going to help.
Right.
Yeah. There has to be buy-in. But you should want to care about your neighbor, too. Mm-hmm. Like, so it's on everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
I think the government has to step in when my biggest thing about the militias is, like, is that like a 501c3? Like, is that legal? Like,
it is legal. It's a kind of a part of what America was
well organized militia.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, we have the right to that.
I think, I think the government picks and chooses what they call a militia.
Right.
Like, if you're David Koresh and you got some guys that are just hanging out, you just get killed.
Now,
like,
also they had a bunch of illegal firearms.
They were just selling. They were fundraising.
Which is a bit.
Was that a bake sale? Was that a bake sale?
They were fundraising.
It's a bit different than a well-organized militia.
Sure.
Yeah. That's a bit different.
But like, they went in and like,
not saying that what happened to those people was good.
We're not talking about dudes that play paintball out in the woods on the weekends and practice.
Right.
And these guys are in public.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These guys are like in public, like
That just seems foreign to me.
It seems
Well, yeah,
I don't
very
because we've
foreign.
not ever,
I've never seen
we've
it.
never needed something
No.
like that. But
No.
I will say, I'm sure at some point in the history of England, people didn't think there was going to be a need for that either.
Yeah.
Until the government really did start infringing. I mean,
Yeah.
overstepping their bounds. So right now it's mask, but what about
Yeah.
when it really is like you're a Christian, you're going to get killed? I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, I'm not saying that because obviously it's not
Right.
It's not what I'm inferring that right now is, or all
The
brown-haired
mask were just
people
to start.
are going to get hung in a tree. You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm cutting my
all-
hair today.
Everyone who wears New
When's the next
Balance
barber open back up?
gets shot on the
I'm
spot.
gonna cut
Like,
all my hair off.
stuff like that starts happening, and then a militia sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
It's like an opportunity to at least defend yourself, as if a militia now could really do a whole lot against like a national guard.
I think there's two different ways of viewing a militia if we're actually like talking about it. Some people look at it as it's a organization of people that have a common belief that and they're making sure the government does not overstep their bounds.
Right.
And that's commendable if that's the premise. But then you have others that view it as a terrorist organization,
Right.
or a organization that has a different motive than what they're really putting on. I kind of believe of that ISIS may have. I'm not. Please don't take this out of context. ISIS may have started out as a militia.
Right.
Definitely.
They had their belief, and they were very. It's a very extreme belief, very extreme. But
That's my
see
worry.
How that grew.
That's my worry. Like
Right.
some of these guys, I don't adhere to what
crazy.
they believe either.
They're
Yeah.
crazy.
And this is interesting. I just read this. This is something we just talked about. The original Michigan militia was formed in 1994. Waco was in 93.
Whoa.
It was during a national wave of white paramilitary mobilization prompted by the government's deadly assaults on the Branch Davidian compound and at Ruby Ridge. Ruby Ridge was right before Waco.
Right, right.
So that was one of those things where I've seen the documentary on Ruby Ridge, and of course that guy was nuts.
Yeah.
But they killed everybody. They killed his whole family.
Right.
The guy in Idaho, the government came in and they have killed his whole family.
Yeah.
Wife, everybody. Killed his son. So then that's why they formed, because they said, let's see,
7,000 members.
because the government had overstepped
Right.
its boundaries. And of course, Timothy McVeigh actually attended one of the meetings of the Michigan militia, and he's the guy that, of course, blew up the Oklahoma City buildings.
Yes.
Everybody's
Wow.
Oklahoma City.
Yes.
So then it collapsed, and then now it's the whatever I said it was in the beginning.
Yeah, but then
ADT
you've got-
security.
You've got other militia, quote unquote, called the KKK, which is that's pretty similar to this idea of a militia. And,
So would it be like an oxymoron, like to say the militia needs some kind of governance or some kind of
right?
rules?
Right. Government.
Right.
They need a little bit of something though, like accountability maybe.
Some kind of accountability.
I need to bone up on my militia
You
terms.
can't just be in a militia and assume that you can break laws.
Yeah.
And just call it a militia.
So true.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's a militia. I can do whatever I want. No.
But they disagree with other groups in the United States that would do the same exact thing. They're
Right.
not operating within the confines of the law.
Right.
So, okay.
Because these guys are still talking about like the colonists. Like these guys are still, are still living back in that time where we
right.
fought the British.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But our country's founded on rebellion.
It is.
I mean, we've rebelled against everything.
We don't like the red coats.
Yeah, so we're not going to do that anymore. We want to keep. One side wants to keep slavery and a bunch of other things. The other side does not.
Yeah.
Let's fight about that. So
Right.
we've always gone against the grain. We've always been rebellious. So that was my headlines, man, and they were good because we talked about it for like 35
They were
minutes.
talking about it the whole time. They were talking about
That
it
was
for
great.
an hour, Josh. We started this at 11:35. It is 12:22 right now. The
We talked
podcast is all
about
but
Michigan
over.
and the militia.
All the headlines,
So,
baby.
what else did we talk about?
We have like 8 minutes left in this podcast.
Talk about breast implants.
We've got longer.
And
So we go a minute 5, minute 6 sometimes. And
Okay,
we're
so-
only 44 in.
Oh,
so-
we're only 44 minutes in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
cool.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
we're
Cool.
good.
I thought we were further in.
what's the next topic?
Oh, man. Let's talk about it. Oh, wait. Stop it.
Topic segment for the day?
What?
Let's go.
All right.
Because we didn't talk about it, so I didn't know. I had one ready on hand, and you didn't have one, so you go.
You do? You have one ready? Let's
I
go.
always have one. You do yours,
no,
dude. No.
He's working on them. He's been working on them since Saturday.
It doesn't take me any work. I just think about all the things that annoy me.
That's the easy way to do it.
Oh, man. I just want people to. This comes from a conversation that was held on social media about a week ago. Now, me personally, I experience it all the time because I'm a runner. I run in town, I run on the road.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But people that don't pay attention when they drive,
Uh-huh.
and they don't pay attention to pedestrians or cyclists or anybody else who just happen to might be in their way.
Right.
So about 3 weeks ago, I guess, or 2 weeks ago, whenever I had to quit running, obviously because of COVID. But 2 days in a row, same curve, right across from your office, right there by the funeral home.
Yep.
Funny, it's by the
Yep.
funeral home.
Yep.
That's where I almost
Or is
died.
it
Just
the
a quick
funeral home,
stop.
Or is it the new church?
Huh?
Is it the funeral home or the old funeral home that's now a church?
It's,
No, the new funeral home.
Okay. Okay.
Right there
Yep.
before my house. People come up that hill,
Yeah.
around that curve, not paying attention
Mhm.
whatsoever. I mean, like, not even looking.
They fly too.
So I'm watching a car just steer itself to me, like it was attracted to me. Like, you see something and it's like, oh, there you are. I'm going to come closer
Uh-huh.
to you. It's
Yeah.
like, did you do that on purpose? Are you trying to kill me?
You
Like,
need to run with tomatoes. So if someone almost hits you, you can just turn and chunk a tomato at their car.
or hit him in the front windshield.
or a rock.
a rock. A big rock.
Just running with a giant piece of concrete in your hand.
This is from my biceps.
It's a new workout.
Preparing to-
curl runs.
Organize a militia later.
You're your own organized militia.
I don't need anyone else.
So
I'm the Termilator.
I literally almost get hit a lot. Like,
Yeah.
it's bad. I mean, my wife even says sometimes, like, I wish you'd find a new route. But I don't want to drive from my house to a destination
Right.
and then run. Like, that
Yeah,
sucks.
I get that.
That's what I do.
So dumb.
It's not what I do.
I do it on a sidewalk.
Yeah.
I don't run.
Well,
So
but people just inherently are not looking or paying
Right,
attention.
no.
So, like, stop and look. And, like, where you're
That's the
driving.
stop it
Yeah.
segment.
Stop.
Drop and roll.
Yes. Drop your phone
Yeah.
and look at the road.
So that
Like,
they don't roll.
It's always a good
Stop,
idea.
drop, and road.
Oh
there you
my gosh. We should make a sign on the side of the road right before.
Yeah.
The
Stop,
one that
drop,
says,
and
like,
road.
Parents, do you know what your kids are doing? They're drinking and taking pills. And then it's like, stop, drop, and road.
Talk to your parents about alcohol before their friends do.
That's it. That's the
Yeah.
sign I'm talking
Coming
about.
out of Huntington.
I was like, it has to do with something. I
At
see
the bottom.
opioid signs a lot too. Which is
Mothers
great.
against cars or cars hitting pedestrians.
Macabada.
That's the next militia.
Here's a little tidbit of insurance knowledge. Let me drop this on you.
Whoa.
If a
Take notes.
person has comprehensive coverage or full coverage, hitting a pedestrian and hitting a deer or a dog is the same exact coverage.
Wow.
So it's a non-chargeable accident if you hit a pedestrian. So it's not like if you hit someone, like rear-end somebody in a car, yeah, your rate's going to go up. But your rate doesn't go up if you hit a person. Like
Because
there.
you helped me find my forever home.
Yeah.
Like you
Forever home.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not.
That's crazy.
It's, I mean, that's just a little. It's always kind of blown my mind a little bit. Like, hey, you probably need to have your rate increased
One
for that.
time I was in driving school, and I've been in driving school 6 times in the last year and a half. My insurance company doesn't get informed about my tickets if I go to driving school.
That's exactly
So
right.
that's
And
why I
I,
go.
would, I would continue.
And the only reason this happened that I've had to go that many times is because when I first started working at Overflow, I have to drive this demonic path from Martin.
Little town.
Yeah, Martin,
Yeah.
Dresden, Gleason, McKenzie, and it is like it's a speed trap of all speed
Yep.
traps, other than
It's
like
the longest
Greenfield.
speed trap known to man.
It is horrible, and I got in that time period, I got 6 tickets in 6 different towns.
Dresden's probably one of the worst because it goes like you're out there in the middle of nowhere
I know, and it's like it'll go down to 55
by the
out of
country
nowhere.
corner.
But I
and
also
it's-
got one in Milan. I also got one in Union City, which has nothing to do with my drive to Overflow. So, gotcha. I get these tickets, and I go to a driving school, unnamed town, unnamed cop, but this police officer. She is telling the driving school class that if you happen to be in a Walmart parking lot and you get hit with someone backing out, make sure you fall down.
Oh,
And
I didn't know we were taking this turn.
Make sure that you fall down and that you're hurt, because you can get a lot of money if that happens to you. And she was talking about how if it ever happens, if someone were to ever back up and even just bump her, she would throw herself to the ground and, like sue for emotional and physical. Her neck would be hurt.
God.
She was like, my neck would be hurt.
How do you live with yourself?
I know. She was telling people in
How do you
driving
do
school.
that?
And I was like, are you kidding me? You're a cop. Like, what are you saying right now? And it just
Bad
blew
boys.
my mind.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What you gonna do?
Yeah.
I'm just
When
I'm
to
like, if
comfort
I ever
you.
see her in a neck brace, I'm just
She's
going to
gonna
look at
fall
her.
down.
Yeah.
I'm just going to look
See
at her
you.
and shake my head.
That's fine.
So,
Wouldn't be the first time.
That's
for anyone
amazing.
listening, if you're ever in a
And
grocery
she
store,
probably is the person that almost hit me a few weeks ago. It's probably the same person. She's just gonna kill me.
You know that was a dude, right?
No, the first one was a woman,
in a
and
cop
I threw
car?
my hands up at her because I had to get my arm up so her mirror wouldn't hit me.
Was she in a cop car?
No, she's in a brand new Yukon.
I was like, that'd be crazy. What happened?
fancy Yukon, her brand new Denali.
Denali.
The other guy that hit me, I swear, probably
The other
never
guy that
saw
hit
me.
you?
Almost
He
hit me.
He hit
Almost
you,
hit me.
Josh? Did he touch you?
So
Sorry.
the other guy, he had the big brown glasses on.
He
I'm
has
not talking about
cataracts.
blue blockers. I'm talking.
He has
about,
cataracts.
Yeah.
Oh,
The big
those
that
that
wrap around
you
your
put
head.
over your
Yes.
other glasses.
Looks
Yeah.
like the little guy from the Pepsi commercial from the 80s.
He was.
The Six Flags guy? You talking about?
It was Max
He
or
was.
something. I don't
He was
know.
wearing VR goggles.
Yeah.
Yeah. He thought I was it's Star Wars.
I thought this was a
It's a
game.
golden coin.
This was a game.
He's playing Sonic.
Right. Right.
Mario Kart. He threw a turtle at you.
Dude, he thought you were one of those little
He
boxes.
never saw me. He never saw me. I know he didn't because he didn't even look alarmed. Like
Yeah.
he was just like,
Oh, sad day.
I'm in
Please
town. I
use
made
that
it.
for the profile picture of this next week. Your face that you made.
It happened at 9:30, and he was going to lunch, and he was in a hurry.
Yeah. He's trying to get to town.
Yeah.
Honey, I made it.
Trying to get the Bobby G's.
I heard
Yeah.
heard somebody yelling at me.
It was a spaghetti
Bobby
at the Senior
G's followed
Citizen
me
Center.
on Facebook or they friended me.
Yes.
But no, it was an actual person.
Yes.
They don't have a business.
They don't have.
page.
It's a friend. It's a person account.
I was like,
A lot of people do that,
it's
not
like
knowing.
Bobby G's like first name. And Bobby G's Diner was like Diner
Yeah.
is their last name, and I was like, this is awesome.
It's like Josh Alicia Crawford.
right.
Same thing.
Did you like the other day? One of you commented on my
I
picture,
did.
and I was like,
And I was like, you know who it is.
If it seems overly nice, it's Alicia.
Alicia.
Yeah.
Stop, drop your phone, and look at the
and
road.
look at the road. Stop,
Okay.
dropping road.
That's how you save lives. Save lives,
Stop-
people.
Stop, dropping road.
Stop being a douchebag.
I love that.
Just stop being a douchebag.
Also, that.
Please. That's
And understand,
That would help.
you didn't pay for the road. You didn't build it by yourself. Everybody had a hand in it. Everybody
Yes.
helps you pay for it.
Yes.
We all pay taxes.
taxpayers.
Yeah, so like, don't hit me. And don't hit cyclists either because you got to share the road with them.
Yeah.
Way more than
Also-
you do us.
Put like
plenty of them.
sidewalks,
Especially, hey,
or something.
shout out to the
somewhere.
Easy Riders. There's a bunch of them now.
Yeah. Shout out
Way to
to
go,
them.
guys.
There's a bunch of them.
There's a
They come by the
growing group.
house, and oh my gosh.
All the little flashing
is
lights.
that-
Oh
is
yeah.
that
I'm like,
JT's
what is
group?
that in the distance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and the chaplain at Bethel University. What's his name? Not
Garrett.
Chap Hames. Garrett. Garrett's a part of
Garrett
them now.
Burns.
The fire chief,
Yep. Brian Tucker.
Brian Tucker's
Yeah.
part of that.
Yeah. There's a bunch of them. There's like a bunch of guys in the fire department, and
Tavis.
rescue, and police department.
Tavis.
Tavis rides with them
Yep.
sometimes.
Tavis.
There's a bunch of them, and they come. They're moving pretty good when they come by the house. They're doing it
ride
early.
About, yeah, they ride about 16 miles in the morning.
Oh, I'm
Wow.
not part of that, dude. I'll just be
No.
honest with you.
It's too long.
I
It
saw
takes
one of
over
them,
an hour.
One of them posted the other day how they rode 44 miles.
Says the dude
And I
that
was
we
like,
have 90-minute
what?
workouts. Okay.
That's true.
I know, but we're lifting weights. We're on a bicycle.
Right.
Like, we're burning more calories lifting weights in an hour and a half. Probably way more than they're
Bro,
burning.
it's just how my butt
on a
feels.
bicycle.
from
I just
the
want to
seat.
clarify. Josh made that comment, not me. So,
Wait, what was
so
the
if
comment?
you would send all your mail to Josh,
Cardio on a bicycle takes about I mean, you literally have to ride to Dresden and back to get what I can get in a run.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, just it's too much time. I don't have
Right.
that kind of time.
Well, you're moving at a faster click, but your body's not moving as much.
No,
Right.
you're just pedaling.
Right.
Even when you're not, you're still moving.
Good for
You
people with
know?
like knee problems, though. So maybe you should think about it.
My doctor said I bought a bike, but
I know. I've never seen you ride it one time. It's set up in that little closet space of the church for
I know. I
2
rode it to work
years.
one day. Well, I rode it to work one day, and a guy cussed me out. I almost got in a fight with a guy who was screaming at me because he was behind me. He was honking his horn.
Wow.
He's like, "Get on the road!" And I was like, "Do something about it." Like,
Let's
that
go,
was probably
dude.
terrible. I work at a church. I'm on my way to church right now.
But
He's got that
something
biker
about
mentality. He gets like real aggressive.
It's the wrong biker
He was wearing a
mentality.
leather jacket while he was riding his bike.
My AR-15.
Yeah,
letting his sleeve show. Hey, speaking of that,
mobile militia.
I'm getting a tattoo
Mobile.
before we film our next podcast.
I'm excited for you, bro.
This Tuesday. I went last night, put down my $20 deposit to reserve my spot for it. I am so excited.
You have to do that now.
Oh yeah, most of them require a deposit.
Yeah.
Really?
Some of them require the whole thing.
It's been a minute since I've
Well,
got.
I've been telling Sam that
I've
she
got
needs to
another
start requiring deposits at her salon
Oh,
because
no
people be
doubt.
canceling and then she's there and she got a 4-hour slot. That
the
someone
girl
just
that does
canceled.
mine requires, I think, 3/4 of what you're actually gonna.
Oh wow.
Oh, he didn't
Yeah,
require
it's a
that.
lot.
But yeah, dude, I'm gonna be tatted up. I have to do it because not this Sunday, but next Sunday we're gonna be talking about tattoos in church. So I figured, hey, why not go ahead and grab one?
There you go. Grab one while you're at it.
Also, it's because me and Sam are doing that as an anniversary gift to ourselves.
That's
Our
good.
anniversary is next Wednesday.
cool.
That's
so
awesome,
We're gonna go
dude.
get tattoos together. She's getting one as well.
That's cool.
Are we able to ask where?
The top of my forearm, right here, like dead center, top of my forearm. I want it to be super, super seen all the time. So
There you go.
yeah,
That's awesome.
Nice.
I'm pumped about it.
I don't think my wife's ever gonna get a tattoo. Like,
She's gonna
well,
get one.
she's
Little
always
heart.
said like she's never found anything that she's like
Yeah.
that dedicated
Oh,
to.
she's not dedicated to you. She's not dedicated to her children. What about church?
Where's your logo at, girl?
Yeah, Josh.
Where's
Alicia
your
Crawford.
branding at?
Get the overflow OC thing.
Oh, how funny would that be for my wife to have the OC tattooed on?
That would be very un-Alicia-like.
It would be.
Yeah.
I just don't think tattoos are her thing, and that's
I don't
fine.
think they
Like
are.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
want
fine.
her
I
to.
mean, I'm just going to shame her for it. It's fine, though. She's horrible. I'm just joking.
And then I both have some.
Obviously.
She should get like Mackenzie Militia tattooed on her
Yes.
arm.
Mackenzie
Alicia Militia.
Alicia
Militia.
Militia.
It's
That's
not a
really
militia,
hard to
I'm
say.
trying
Yeah, I had to
I'm
stop. I
trying
had to like
Yeah.
slow it down.
Yeah, it would have been a Termilated moment for sure.
The Termilator. Can we put that in our title this
I want
week?
it.
Something about the Termilator.
We have to. We have to.
It's made
Breast,
its way through
breast implants, the Termilator.
We cannot put breast implants on
And-
that. Let that be a surprise for everyone that's listening. I can't do breast implants. Putting whiskey in the one a couple weeks ago got me excommunicated from the city of McKenzie. I can't handle putting breast implants in it. I'm sorry, I just
Why
can't.
not?
Because I
You just don't get
care
terminated.
Yeah.
about what people think, okay? I don't want to get terminated.
Yeah. This is a titillating conversation.
Terminator. Oh man, that's so funny. So, there's our stop it segment.
I think there's the stop it of the whole podcast segment. I think we're done.
I think.
Oh
Yep,
man,
I'm
This
pretty
has
sure.
it was
This
so
has been
good.
our
This has
weekly
been a
radio
good
show.
one.
This is like a radio show. I was
Yeah.
thinking about it today. I'm like, this is so. Most podcasts have like an ongoing theme. Ours has no theme,
There-
and it's mostly just like a radio talk show.
Yeah.
like in the morning.
That's what we do.
People that you just hang out and talk with.
We just went off the rails like immediately. Like it didn't.
We literally had
Like I heard
zero
the structure
purpose.
before this, and I mean, I'm pumped about it anytime I get to come. But
You learned about militias today. You learned about breast implants. You learned about adopting kids and giving them up. That's super cool. Way
Probably
to go.
things that we
Yeah.
shouldn't do.
right.
Lots of
Lots
things
of
that we
things
shouldn't do.
do.
So many things. This whole thing was a stop it segment.
yeah,
Stop getting breast implants from foreign countries that are going to make you sick.
sandals is not where that needs to happen at.
Stop expecting your insurance company to then come through.
When
for
it's
you.
all inclusive too far.
Yeah.
Stop adopting children and then giving them back.
What?
Stop with the
Sandals is trying to
militias.
elevate their all
They
inclusive.
didn't even give the kid back. They gave it to somebody else. It's like another destination the kid had to travel. Like,
Wow.
Wow.
I mean,
They were
that's
like a
hard.
3-year. What's it called when you only have a child for a certain amount of time?
Like a
Foster parent.
Yeah,
It's
foster.
like a 3-year foster parent.
But you paid like $30,000, $40,000, $50,000
Yes.
to just foster.
And then also, it's a person.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mark's like, the money.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
What an investment.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Strip away all that money. And the kid.
Yeah.
And
It's
also
not.
a child.
A kid is never a bad investment.
Never.
Ever.
Well,
So,
for those of you that are still here, as we say every time, thank you for still being here.
like and share.
Review, well, all of it. Everything that you can do. Click
Yes.
the little bell notification on YouTube. It'll let you know whenever the new one's posted. Which
Shout
it's
out to
gonna be
Canada.
Fridays and Thursdays. Yeah, whoever's
Canada
watching
listens to us. I don't know why, and it's a lot of people. And
In Canada?
in Canada, I don't know anybody.
I
in
wish
Canada.
y'all would follow us on
Hey.
whoever this
It's like
is.
Fonzie.
Follow
They
us
sound
on
like
like
Canadian.
Facebook or Instagram. Like maybe message us and say, "Hey, I'm the person from Canada," or people that are watching this. Like, let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At Instagram at Alex Gallion.
I've been to Canada.
Gallion.
I've been in your country. I've been to
Right.
Kingston.
Josh, I haven't.
Jamaica?
Kingston,
That's
Canada.
he said Canada. Jamaica?
Yeah.
No.
We were just kind of talking about boobs from the Dominicans. So I didn't know if
I
we
didn't know Kingston was a place in Canada either.
Yeah.
So.
It is. It's about 3 hours from Toronto,
Cool.
right outside of New York, across the river.
New York. Really? Oh, it's
Yes.
actually. I
Wow.
thought you mean like another.
You can see New York
Whoa.
from Kingston. There's a big prison. I had to go there for Goodyear one time. A random
Goodyear
story.
you served some time there? Is that what you're getting at?
sent you to prison in New
Yeah.
York.
It was a big prison.
That's why Canada loved you.
They're not huge America fans though. Like, because we always say things about them, and like
I like
they have T-shirts that say like, these are things we don't do that you think we do. Like, I mean, you just see all these different things. They get
You don't just
irritated
eat
about.
maple syrup on everything.
Right. We don't say "eh" all the time.
Yeah, eh.
Well,
But
Hey,
you might-
shout out to Greg Gallagher, who
is he in
who lives-
Canada?
yeah, he's
He is
Canadian,
in
dude.
Canada.
He's the Keno Body guy.
Keno.
You don't know who Keno Body is. Keno Body was my first workout
Greg
plan
O'Gallagher.
that like got me. It taught me how to like count calories and
Oh, yeah.
nutrition and how to like strength lift. You know, like when you're cutting and
Greg
stuff.
O'Gallagher.
It was really big, but yeah, Keno Body was big, but it's a Canadian-owned business. So
Fantastic.
yeah,
Greg O'Gallagher.
and Justin Bieber and Drake. And anyone that plays on the Toronto Raptors also lives in Canada. But
True story.
after that, I don't know many claims to fame. I'm sure Canada has tons of awesome things, but I've not been there. I don't know much.
Ryan Reynolds?
Is he from Canada?
He's from Canada.
I have no idea.
I love Ryan Reynolds.
He's hilarious.
Yeah, he's good.
He's great. Canada's awesome.
We love Canada.
We love you, Canada.
So if you're listening in Canada, let us know, because
we want to know who you are.
there's a ton of hits from Canada on our podcast. And I've always wondered who it is.
I love it.
Them in Brazil. I don't know anybody in Brazil
I
either.
do, Carlos.
Oh, yeah, Carlos.
You watch our church, Carlos. if you
Shout out
watch
to
us, we
Carlos on
love you.
Facebook.
Yeah. But after
Awesome.
that, we love you guys, and we hope you have an amazing day or night, morning, afternoon.
Have a great weekend.
Have a good
Yeah.
workout if you're watching
great.
this in the gym.
Yes.
Have a great weekend. All of it.
See you
Love
next
y'all.
week.
Later.
Later.
Thank you guys.